The film so huge it had to be animated is invading your homes. Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. Available now on Video On Demand, iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play.
Hey, Seiji, you know what I was thinking? You know how when we go for nature walks, when we go in the woods, sometimes we get hungry and we eat rocks and we eat bark off the trees.
I eat trees.
You eat the trees too?
No.
Yeah, you do. I saw you. And sometimes we eat deer ew if we find it on the ground. I saw you eating deer ew. Don't lie.
No.
I did see you. But you know what? We don't have to. We don't even have to do that. You know why?
What?
Because of Nature Box. So you know that's what we have to do. Is next time we go for our hike, we got to bring Nature Box stuff.
Yep.
You know what's good about Nature Box?
Yep.
What? They're delicious?
Yeah.
They're healthy?
No.
They send it right to... They are too healthy, you know that. It sends it right to your door. So all you have to do is go to naturebox.com/TESD. And you know what's good about NatureBox, Seiji?
Good.
Half off the first box by going to naturebox.com/TESD and free shipping. Free. That means no money. You don't have to pay. Like, you know how we've been eating rocks and tree bark for free? Now we can eat Nature Box instead. It's going to cost a little bit more, but it's very delicious. And I know you like the sourdough cheddar pretzels. Are those your favorite? And you know what? I gotta find some gluten-free snacks because I think I might be allergic to gluten. Achoo! 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 Oh, sorry. I mean to sneeze all over you. 0 trans fats, 0 high fructose corn syrup. Oh no, you must be allergic to gluten too. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're allergic to gluten. Oh, let's cry. Oh, it's not worth crying over? Okay. You talk tough about eating right, but I never see you doing it. Are you going to do it now?
No.
You better do it. Enough of the tough talk. Go to naturebox.com/TESD. 50% off your first free box and always free shipping. So NatureBox is going to bring it right to our door, and we can eat them whenever we want. Seiji, have you ever heard of HuluPlus.com? I think you have, right?
No.
You have heard of HuluPlus.com?
No.
Yes, you have.
I think a part needs to go.
HuluPlus.com is how we watch TV sometimes. When I put on your shows,
Pony.
the shows you like, that's what I use.
Pony.
Ponies?
Yes.
Well, let's not say ponies because I don't think they have ponies. But HuluPlus.com is pretty cool.
Pony.
I think I'm going to cancel TV. I'm going to turn TV off. No more TV. What do you think of that?
No.
Yep. We should just say, boom, done. Done with cable TV and rely on HuluPlus.com because they have all the best shows anyway. They have Modern Family, which I watch. They have the new Jimmy Fallon show. Don't you want to be cool in school? Everybody likes Jimmy Fallon, right?
No, not.
They don't like Jimmy Fallon in school? Do they like Doctor Who?
Yeah, Who.
Do they like Akira?
Yeah.
Do they like Fresh Meat, a Hulu original, which launched season 3 on February 9th? Do they like The Only Way is Access, Seiji? Do they? I sure hope so. Because they have to go to HuluPlus.com/TESD. You're going to get an extended free trial. It's only $7.99 a month. Even you can afford that. If you look for coins, you know all those coins you find in the couch and stuff and you bring to me?
I have coin. Coin.
I don't have any coins on me, but I'll give you some coins and you can put them towards HuluPlus.com/TESD. How's that?
Yes!
That is the best present an 8-year-old girl could ever want, right?
Yeah!
HuluPlus.com. 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 HuluPlus.com.
I better not hear a peep out of this platoon until 0500.
Sir, yes, sir.
Private Chen, Private Zapkick. Is there a goddamn reason you two friends of a goddamn Dorothy are sharing a goddamn bunk in my goddamn barrack?
Saves time making the bed in the morning, sir.
Not to mention, somehow Private Ladondo has managed to pee on all our mattresses.
I already told you guys, they're tears, not pee.
Shut your goddamn cock holsters and get in your own bunks. Now lights out.
Psst, Mike, are you awake?
Yeah?
I know it's against the rules, but that thing I was talking about, you want to do it with me?
Whoa, don't ask, Ming. That's rule number 1. I mean, I want to do it with you.
Don't tell Mike. That's also rule number 1. It'll get us both court-martialed.
I've never done this before. Well, I guess we should take our shirts off before we do it.
It's the only way I've seen it done. Here goes nothing.
What in the pretty pink panties of Mary Jane Rottencrotch is going on in here?
They were about to do it, Sarge.
No, we weren't. We weren't doing anything.
Then would you mind telling me why you two fun boys are sharing the same goddamn bunk against orders and sitting there bare-chested and staring at each other like a couple of goddamn starry-eyed newlyweds?
Direct orders from General Flanagan, Sarge.
Are you two buttermilk-bathing, feather boa-wearing rump bumpers claiming that a certified poot-tank slayer like General Flanagan would entertain 2 soldiers in this man's army engaging in acts of homosexualist disgustingness? I'll string you up by...
Wait, what? You thought we were about to have sex?
We weren't. We weren't.
We were about to don non-approved gear and didn't want to face a harsh military tribunal and/or a serious fragging.
Explain yourself, you free cheese-eating termites!
A few days ago, General Flanagan gave us what I first took as a compliment. You know, until I looked up the definition of smashed asshole. Then, he said if we wanted to make it through the next 24 hours with our nutsacks intact, we better clean up our appearance by going to tellemstevedave.merchtable.com and ordering the official Tell 'em Steve Dave Army Ant t-shirt.
So that's what we did, and we were trying them on when you walked in. I can definitely see why you'd lead to the assumption we were fucking each other, though.
T-shirts, huh?
They're printed on 100% pre-shrunk cotton, so Private Frady Cat over there can cry or even lose his wiener water all over it, and it will retain its superior form and function.
Finally, a t-shirt for the easily frightened yet fashion conscious. Where do I go again?
Exactly how many dicks do you got stuffed in your ears, boy? The man clearly said, tellemstevedave.merchtable.com. And with General Flanagan being a man of principles, you know his endorsement don't come easy. It's not like this is LegalZoom or some bike shop no one's ever heard of.
Permission to look fabulous, Sarge.
Permission granted. Go ahead. Try 'em on. But before you do, it'd be in your best interest to head over to tellemstevedave.merchtable.com and pick up one of those bad boys for your commanding officer.
Yes, sir!
As you were. Well, not exactly. Will you two please get back into your own goddamn bunks and stay there?
Sir, yes, sir. Mike, give me our joint credit card number so I can pick up an official TESC Army Ant shirt for the Sarge from tellemstevedave.merchtable.com.
I'm going there right now. There's nothing too scary on that website, right?
Tell 'em Steve Dave sat recording in a comic store, but Brian Q felt that they needed more. Quinn wanting women, adventure and booze. Brian just wanting to debate hot button topics and not have to lose. So they travelled, Quinn driving, hitting pavements. Guy providing abundance is a vague navigation. So whether they win or lose, triumph or fail, listen to this podcast and they will regale you with their tales. Space Monkeys.
Well, hello and welcome to Space Monkeys.
You've been tricked into a download.
That's right. No Walt this week.
Nope, no Walt. It's going to be very quiet, I think. That's one thing I notice about What Say You is there's not much ambient noise. There isn't a door beeping. There aren't people walking to and fro.
Usually we do it in Sal's house, What Say You, but today we're in my house, which means you're going to get some cat activity.
I have heard them too, where Sal's constantly afraid of cats jumping on him.
Yeah, they'll do that, but that's okay. But what's going on? You're on Staten Island, man. This is like a mythical creature.
Can you believe it? Yeah, I know. Like a lot of people mistook me for a unicorn, a big fat hairy unicorn.
You shot a cameo in Joker's Wild today.
Yeah,
couldn't be more excited about that.
It was fun. I liked it.
Now, did you check with AMC before you went ahead and did that? Or?
I didn't, but I will tell you, like, when I was taking a shower, getting ready, it did cross my mind.
Right.
I wonder if anything will be said. I doubt it, since it's like...
I mean, it's literally 10 seconds.
It's a millisecond. Yeah.
Hey!
Some cat fights going on.
Fucking picks on Benjamin sometimes. I don't like it. So right away we got captivity going on.
But yeah, the fact that I'm only making 1,000 for the day.
Right.
Shouldn't No, that's what I would say to them. I would be like, look, I didn't get paid.
Right.
It's a friend. They're all my friends. I'm just on the show for a second,
See? Hey, fat ass, knock it off.
I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Sorry about that.
And I would be like, you know what, you want to know the best way to get them back? Let's have Q on
yes,
on Comic Book Man.
That would be fun. Then. So, although my contract allows for me to be on Comic Book Man.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
You're allowed to make an appearance.
Right, but they just has not been utilized yet. That's okay.
It's going to happen.
We're going to be
fourth season.
Comic-Con at the same time, so I'm hoping to pop in somewhere, maybe over there.
That'll be fun, San Diego.
Yeah.
Comic-Con. Speaking of Comic-Cons, we'll be, Ming and Mike will be down in Myrtle Beach this weekend. We were supposed to have a meeting
right
on Thursday to come up with ideas for season 4, and I sent an email to Nichelle, the showrunner, and we were like, yeah, we can't do it on Thursday. We have a comic book show. And he's like, okay, we'll just do it the next Thursday. And we're like, well, we can't do it then. We have a show in Boston. Like something that he's totally not used to.
Right,
and probably
right.
Like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Mike and Ming are doing what?
Speaking of Mike and Ming, do you know can I apply online for a job at the Stash, or do I have to go in and like just talk to Walt about it? Because it just seems to me to be the best job in the world, because they just have all day to make videos. Like, do they work?
It would appear that way. I mean, this is the second video in less than a week now.
Yeah.
That they've been able to make. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you go to, where is he have it on YouTube, I guess?
Yeah, it's on his Ming Chen's YouTube channel.
Yeah, go to Ming's YouTube channel. And you will see a few videos in which they're just splashing about in their pool of wind.
Well, the first video was a quandary to me because he lost the rap battle.
Yeah, that I didn't get.
And then the thrust of his first bragging was all about the rap battle.
Right, they're rapping outside in some girl. I think it was the Zen librarian, right?
Maybe.
I think she comes up to him and says something like, you're amazing, blah, 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 whatever, and then runs off.
Yeah. Two married middle-aged dopes outside the store making a video
trying to pop and lock and fuck and beatbox and shit.
About how women find them irresistible. So that was fine. That was funny. And I said to Ming on Twitter, I was like, yo, shouldn't you make a video about something you actually won? So then he came out with the video that dropped today.
Oh, you would say this is a direct response to...
he even said so. He goes,
really? Oh, I didn't know that.
He says, well, how about this? And my only reaction was like, I mean, I wonder, does Kevin Smith, does he care that he pays these people to do nothing? Like...
He may if he was aware.
He might if he was aware. Because, I mean, like, not only was it filmed during store hours, not only is it, filmed in the store while business is being conducted, but also he made props. He made a Mingles cereal box, which I know he didn't do at his home time.
Of course he did it at home on his own time. Of course
he seems to have no home time. So when the fuck was he going to make it if not at work?
That's true. That's a very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
I mean, at the very least, they could give Kevin executive producer credit on these fucking videos since he's funding them.
We're definitely not saying that on Twitter you should, mention Kevin and ask about it. Because he's got better things to do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he wouldn't want to be aware of it. So
Sure. Not at all.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it.
Wow. Well, what the fuck happened last week? Did we lose, in your opinion?
I don't think we lost it. I'll tell you why.
Right.
One, we didn't lose the rap battle, obviously.
Okay.
Two, I believe that the scoring was incorrect, and a few people tweeted and said that there's a certain minute mark, which I couldn't find it. They said it was 16, but after you add commercials and shit, it's time changed, so I couldn't find it. Maybe somebody will hear this and you can tweet the exact time to us. That Walt says that if you pass on a question, that question doesn't count. You get 0 points.
You get 0 points that round.
And that would have been the question that Mike passed on for the abortion thing.
Right.
Which I spoke to Walt later about that, and I said it was astounding to me because that it couldn't have gotten easier. It couldn't be easier to go con that. Like it's not even con or pro-abortion.
Right.
It's con the reason for this woman to have an abortion, which was, if you haven't listened yet, I'm sure you probably have, that she was on the verge, or she was, working towards becoming famous, and she found out she was pregnant, and why tell people this at all? Like, why the fuck would you announce this?
Why would you even say you're pregnant? Like, just take it back to square one.
Do you remember her name? I don't remember her name.
I don't.
But she...
You want me to try and find it?
Yeah, sure. But she...
Excuse me.
Was going to be on the UK version of Big Brother, and she saw that as the starting line for what she wanted, which is to be famous and drive around in a pink Bentley or a pink Range Rover, I think she said. And
Josie Cunningham.
Yes, Josie Cunningham. And she saw the child as an impediment to that fame and fortune. So why not abort it? What she look like? She's a mess.
Oof.
Josie Cunningham, huh?
Yeah, here I'll show you. Looks like she's been through some shit. This one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She knows who she looks like is
Zen librarian?
No. She kind of looks like JWoww a little bit, doesn't she? In some of those pictures.
I'll tell you what. If I'm gonna be honest, I always found JWoww kind of attractive in a way.
Yeah, I don't think JWoww's unattractive.
This one I do not find attractive in this.
Oofa.
That's rough.
Yeah, this is the first thing that comes up. Let's see, because Walt didn't really delve too much into the story. This is a UK thing. Now, Mail Online, I'm told, is not very reputable. Like the UK, it's kind of like over here is the, I don't know, what would you consider? I mean, maybe the National Enquirer or something that, you know?
Like a shit rag.
Right.
Okay.
Shameless model who vowed to have an abortion so she could appear on Big Brother reveals the bump of the child who will never be born due to her quest for fame. She had 5,000 pound, money-wise pound, breast enlargement. Mother of 2 is now 4 months pregnant. Oh, so she already has kids.
Oh.
Aspiring model said she will abort her baby to appear on Big Brother. Wait, so she had to get the abortion in order? Oh, I guess if she was pregnant, she couldn't be on. She said appearing on reality TV show would boost her television career. Now, does that happen for most people? When you think about so far, the world of reality TV, who have we seen really come out of it with a career? You have...
Well, are you talking about newcomers or flagging stars who had a revitalization?
No, people who were never stars in the first place, or never personalities in the first place.
Right.
Like, say Survivor, you had the girl Elizabeth Hasselbeck who was on The View forever.
Sure. Well, we can't count American Idol because obviously that's the purpose of it is to make a pop star.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And it seems like a lot of people can't even remember. Like you get people. Everyone knows, the Kelly Clarkson and Clay Aiken, and like the first 5, and then after that, people are like, "Who was it?"
Daughtry, I think, is the last one. I don't know. You and I, this is not where our fingers are on the pulse of, so who the fuck knows?
Right.
But all right, let's take American Idol out of it and look at every single other, even the Jersey Shore people who were, without a doubt, major celebrities. Mm-hmm. Now, does anybody know where they are?
I know that Snooki and JWoww had a spinoff, though I'm not sure if it's still on. One of the guys, Paulie D, was being sued for something, I believe. It's like nobody has a...
Right. Well, he's a DJ now, so maybe that's
right. He might make some money, and maybe club appearances.
Right.
You know, like I'm sure that if like during the height of that show's success, Jersey Shore success, if they were making say $50,000 to go to a club appearance,
right.
which probably isn't that crazy.
No, estimate.
No.
They probably got more
now.
Oh, no.
10.
Yeah,
maybe.
Which I would still take.
Fuck yeah.
Someone was like, hey, you want to come hang out at the club for $10,000?
I'm telling you, if they said to me that, they're like, hey, man, you can skate on the entrance fee.
You got a free coat check.
Yeah.
Right back to where we started.
Yeah, really. We've come full circle. I don't know. Would you have a hard time with that? Like somebody wants you to open or not open, but like attend a club appearance. You're gonna host it. You're gonna be like, all right, we're here to party. Blah 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 blah.
Ming and Mike's fucking karaoke,
like their karaoke contest. Yeah.
I would think they're coming to the wrong person right away.
Because you think young female. Or young male, enthusiastic. You got like the party, like you're known for, like, you know, like Paris Hilton or, I don't know. I don't think Kim Kardashian. I wouldn't think of her anymore with that kind of shit. No. But like at one time, Paris Hilton would have been like the quintessential, like, now I'm a DJ. Now I'm a singer. Right. Now I'm a movie star.
All right, let's talk about this for a second. Is there a club in Vegas is like, hey man, we'll fly you out, we'll put you up. Nobody's going to get just me. They're going to want all four of the fucking Practical Jokers. So let's assume it's that.
Okay.
Then I would probably do it.
No, are there other jokers that would be difficult to convince?
Murray would not be difficult to convince at all. I think Salo would be money. I think for everybody else it would come down to money. Joe loves Vegas, so he would probably do it.
Mm-hmm.
Come down to money.
Okay. So they're like, all right.
It's a long night. Like, how long you got to stay there? Let's say 5 hours?
You're going to get there. You're going to probably get there, say 10. That's when clubs start?
Okay.
And they expect you to, say 4 hours, 10 to 2.
Okay, 10 to 2.
Mm-hmm. Now there's 4 of you.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You need the money. Like, what are you gonna do?
But everybody, how much is the money though? Like, that's the thing. Like, everybody agrees. Everybody has to. Everyone has to agree. Everyone has to agree to the number. So let's say it's 40,000 for sake of example.
God, that's not even a question. Of course, I'll go.
Yeah, I know that. You'll get 10,000 each.
Yeah. 10,000 each. I would. That's like, all right. I'm flying to Vegas for a weekend for $10,000.
Yeah, and all that shit's taken care of. Your flight.
That's insane. That's insane amount of money to me.
Right.
Of course. I mean, that's a lot of money.
But you got to be up there for the 4 hours and
$10,000.
I think you could do it if you had a couple drinks.
Sure.
I think you could definitely do it.
I mean, look, man. I know people think I make money. Like $10,000 is a fucking lot of money. I would be like, yeah, of course.
For 4 hours, that's pretty good.
Well, it's not 4 hours though.
Oh, because you're counting your flight time and all that.
The time out, and yeah.
It's funny you start doing that, right? Because I do that now too.
Because I'm telling you right now, $5,000, I wouldn't do it. Then I'm just like, I'm sorry, I just can't. It's still a hit, but like at that point, I start weighing in a weekend at home, which I never get. I never get. You know what I mean?
Well, there was an offer to go somewhere that would have been probably, I would say, a 6-hour drive from my house, 6-hour drive back, and then the day would have been an 8-hour day,
right?
And they offered $1,000, and I said no.
Yeah, I mean, look, put it this way: when I
I'm not like $1,000.
No, it's a hit. You're weighing that. That's a lot of money. Like an overnight tour at the firehouse. I don't want to say exactly how much it is, but it's not too far. You know what I mean? Like.
It's like, not $10,000 for 4 hours.
Fuck no. But even an overnight tour at the firehouse, which is like you're hanging out with your friends and stuff like that, there's still times where I'd be like, I just can't. I can't do it tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do it. Like, I'm sorry. I want to. But some nights you just need to be home.
Yeah.
And I have, what the thing too is like, I have no dependents, just the cats. So I can afford to take a hit. Whereas if I had a wife and kids, I think I would say yes. To just
You'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to.
You just have to, and then you'd fucking resent them the entire time.
Yeah, and then you're up there as a DJ in Vegas, and there's all these drunk girls around with their tits out, and you can't even do anything about it because you got a wife at home. So then it's just like, oh, this is just awful.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
It would suck. Now, Ming and Mike, they're a different breed, man. They're a different breed. I won't even, I won't even try to fucking, what am I looking for? I won't even try to beat around the bush with this. I'll tell you exactly what happened. We were supposed to go to New Orleans for a comic book show.
Okay, that's fucking awesome.
Already, yeah. You're
Right.
like, that's going to be great. Now, a couple weeks before, actually, I'll tell you the whole story because this was kind of weird. I thought this was weird. A couple weeks before the show, 3 weeks, maybe a month tops, we get an email from our road manager lady who says, there's been a conflict in schedule. Not with us, but I guess somebody else had rented wherever this show was going to be.
Okay.
Which means, like, how the fuck can you guys not lock that down? It's like,
That
it's in a
seems like
month.
step one.
Yeah.
Right.
So the show is postponed until December. No big deal, whatever. So I guess within that week, Ming and Mike agreed to do a show for Rob Bruce and this guy Cliff.
Okay.
Those are the guys who run the Asbury Park Comic Con.
Right.
We've already talked about comics more in the last 5 minutes than me and Mike have talked in the past fucking 10 months.
It seems like all they do is talk about themselves these days.
They talk about themselves a lot, yeah. Not like us. So I guess they say to these guys, since that weekend is now open, that yeah, sure, we'll do I think it's in New York. It's a one-day show.
Okay.
We'll go up there and we'll do whatever.
I opened my closet door the other day, and Ming and Mike were in there. Like, they were just like, oh, something's opening, we'll be here. So, yeah.
No doubt. No fucking doubt. So this is where I was a little bit proud of them, though. But Ming was the one to point it out, and I emailed the lady at the same time, our road manager, that there's a Walking Dead. What's it called? The
StalkerCon?
Walker Stalker Con
right.
up in Boston. Was it too late to get in on that?
Yeah.
And she said, okay, I'll look into it. So it turned out it wasn't, but by this point, they've spent a lot of their money in terms of budgeting for travel and all that stuff.
Walker Stalker Con.
For rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So they said, to fly there at this point so close, it's going to be expensive. And, it's a new con. This is literally the first year they put it on. So, we can give you money. Like, you could take a train up, or you could drive up in your car if you want. Now, to me, something like Boston, I don't mind the train.
4-hour drive. Yeah, it's like a minimal train ride.
I actually would prefer to take the train or to drive, because by the time you get to the airport, by the time you get through security, by the time the fucking flight gets delayed and all that other shit, for a place like Boston, it's like, why not drive? You're hanging out with a couple of your friends in the car, shooting the shit.
Get some beef jerky, sunflower seeds, and you're on the road.
Yeah, man, and you're in business.
Yeah.
So I write back, sure, I'll do a train or car, either way. Ming says the same thing. And then Mike writes, you can count me in. And I'm good for kicking in for the gas and the tolls. I'm trying to fucking. No, look, I am not a person who is fucking accustomed to being famous. I'm not famous.
Right.
I'm quasi-famous. There's like, famous is when you're like, hey, Mom, do you know who this person is? And she knows who it is. That to me, that's famous.
Right.
I'm not a famous person. But you got to know that if somebody's like, hey, well, like, unless they say you guys are going to have to pay for the tolls and gas, don't fucking offer it. Don't offer it. There's no reason to. No sensible person would do that. Like, you don't have to sweeten the pot for people who are hiring you.
Right.
But that's not even the best part. The best part was, I guess, since it falls on the same week as the thing with Cliff and Rob Bruce.
Sure.
Rob Bruce comes into the store and tells Mike and Ming that they made Cliff cry. Cliff being the other promoter of the New York Con.
Is Cliff 15?
Cliff is not 15 now. He's a very nice guy.
Okay.
But I could not get the story as to why he was crying. In fact, I'll ask Ming right now. I'll text Ming as we're talking. Let me see. Oh my gosh, we're being invited to Godzilla screenings, he tells me.
Roz, really?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Oh, fuck, man. That's cool.
Let's see. To Ming. Why did Cliff cry when you canceled? Now, you go to Asbury Park Comic-Con, you know. You went.
Yeah, I was there.
There are some names there. There are some people that are definitely impressive.
Yeah.
My belief is that simply because we're on TV, it's not like we're more talented than was Chris Claremont there? Did I see that name?
I think he was, yes.
Okay. I know I'm fucking nothing compared to Chris Claremont.
In the comic book world, he's a heavy hitter.
Right. So, yeah, big name. I met Peter Begg, you know, the creator of Hate and Apocalypse Nerd and like a bunch of other stuff that I enjoy. And he seemed like he was unhappy. Oh, okay.
He seemed like he was unhappy.
He seemed like he was unhappy. Yeah, like this was because he lives all the way in Seattle. So
so he came all the way.
He came for this.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he sold a bunch of stuff or whatever. Maybe he did all right. But the best part of meeting him was he gave me his email address, and it wasn't that he gave me his email address and I'm like, wow, now I can talk to Peter Begg. It was the fact that it was, you know, whatever, like, you know, Brian Quinn at Earthlink.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, this is a fucking old school motherfucker who's like stodgy and not changing his ways at all. Earthlink. I was like, if somebody said, if you get this right, you live. If you get this wrong,
you'd be dead.
You're dead.
Right.
I would be dead because there's no fucking way I would have ever imagined that Earthlink was still around. You know? Ming, okay, so I said to Ming, why did Cliff cry when you canceled? He said, no clue. I saw him the other day, but he had stopped crying by then. But my point being that I guess like Ming and Mike they're big names at the Asbury Con.
Sure. Okay.
You know, although you want to know, by the way, they jammed him into this fucking little room and it was so tight with.
Yeah.
You saw it.
Yeah.
It was them.
It was Brian O'Halloran and Scott
Schiaffo, the Truly's guy. And then, I think the guys that, why can't I know? Fuck, why can't I remember the name of the comic? The guys on the
Accelerators.
Accelerators, yes. They're there. It's like that whole little group. And, again, like I look at Mike and Ming and I'm like, it is easily fucking 80 degrees in this room. Through that door right there, there's huge window. You can literally see the ocean.
Right.
You know, like imagine doing it in your living room or doing it in a great room, where you can see the ocean. The windows are open. There's a breeze coming in.
Yeah.
It was fucking nuts, like how tightly packed it was, and how they just again they don't say anything. Now Walt would point at me and be like, "Yo, you think you're hot shit? You think you fucking deserve this or that?" But to me, I'm like, "You're fucking doing it for free."
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I saw Rob Bruce's setup. Did you see that?
All I saw was the fucking 900 banners he made of like monsters and robots.
He
was his setup primo?
In a cramped.
No.
He was in quite a big ballroom with a large table, windows, sunlight, air conditioning.
He didn't come out looking like a fucking veal at the end of the weekend.
No, he did not. And I wonder why he didn't put those guys like around him or with him.
I don't know. I don't know. And I also wonder why they want to be like, I'm not sitting here.
Right.
I'm not sitting here for the whole weekend.
Well, they're not doing it for the money, right?
No, because they gave, very nice of them too. They gave all the money to charity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mike gave his, like, because they were selling the pictures and
shit.
Yeah, whatever they were selling, like Mike gave his money to, I think it's called Lunch Break. It's like you feed homeless people, and Ming split his half between the Wayne Foundation and some like boys and girls group in Shrewsbury, the town he lives in.
Why didn't Zapsa give his to the Wayne Foundation? I guess is the question. Everybody's asking right now.
Everybody, maybe only one person is like, hey, I know he's been very active with that charity for years.
Yeah.
For years, yeah. So I think that's why he decided on it. But what was my point? Did I make my point? I think I made my point. I think I made my point that with like the, hey, I'll chip in for gas and tolls, or like, hey, I'll fucking sit under the table if you want. Be like, they gotta ride the fine line between like being obnoxious assholes who are asking for more than they deserve,
right,
and acting like, they're being done a favor by being allowed to be there.
Right. Right.
But anyway, so the Cliff guy cried, and Rob Bruce offered, because they were going to do it for free again. Mm-hmm. So Rob Bruce offered them money, a certain amount of money, and Ming was like, "This is what I like about Ming. He's fucking hard-nosed businessman." He said, "Can't do it." He said, "We're going to make more than twice that." So,
right.
And that's a guarantee. So we just can't do it.
Does it help? How much does it help Rob Bruce to have you guys there? At all?
I don't know. I mean,
because I do these charity things for some fire department stuff, and it's sometimes I'm there and I'm like, I wonder if anybody gives a shit that I'm here.
You feel like a dickhead.
Yeah. I mean, people are, there are people who I love the show and they want pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did my presence here raise a cent?
Did anyone come because of you?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I hope so, but I don't know.
I'm sure there's got to be some people.
Right.
But for Mike and Meg, and this is certainly nothing against them, and because it would include me too if I went, I don't think one person is like, oh my God, they're going to be there, I'm buying a ticket. I think it's like, oh, there's a comic book show. Oh, and these guys are going to be here. Oh, and these guys are going to be here. Right. It's like
it's just part of the overall.
The overall package is what the draw is, not necessarily, those two.
Right. Although they were what drew me to the fucking karaoke party.
You weren't going to miss it, man.
No, not in a billion years was I going to miss that.
Yeah. So if you're not going to be in Boston, and I don't even know what
when were you supposed to be in New Orleans? Because I'm going to be there at the end of this month.
That sucks. We were supposed not this weekend, but the following weekend. That's when we're going to
Memorial
Boston.
Day weekend?
No, Memorial Day weekend. We're in Houston.
Okay. So the weekend after Memorial Day or before Memorial Day?
Before.
Oh, okay. No, the weekend after Memorial Day, I'm going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, Sal sent me a schedule because he was like, "Oh, we're going to be in Nashville this time." Like, and it just nothing synced up.
Yeah,
so it sucked.
What are you doing? You want to come to New Orleans? Come see the show? Just stay in my hotel room.
I can. We'll be doing a show. We'll be in Boston.
Oh, you'll be in Boston that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what sucks. That's what really sucks about it, because we would have been all down there at the same time. But we'll meet up in San Diego instead.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Comic-Con. That's going to be
some fun. Now that we've done our fucking schedule for the past half hour.
Well, no, the schedule's good because anywhere that I'm going to go, we're doing a show. So if you want to come out and see us, please come out.
Yeah, people should come and hang out. Myrtle Beach.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Myrtle Beach. I went to Myrtle Beach with a girlfriend. Christ, this is years and years and years ago. And it was in March. It was like during spring break. And we left. It was in New Jersey. It was 30 degrees. I'm sorry. No, it was like 60 degrees. It was just starting to get warm. Mm-hmm. Went down to Myrtle Beach. It was like in the 80s. Laid out, got fucking red, like sunburn red, like so red that like you feel like sick and shit.
Yeah.
And on the way back, we around probably, I guess it was right around Virginia, we ran into a fucking snowstorm, like a snowstorm. And she was like, I look back sometimes, there's a lot of things I look back on with relationships, and I'm like, I mean, probably like 3 times today I could look back and be like, why did I put up with that? Right. But with this girl, she was very bent on fucking, like, never missing a day or anything. Yeah. And she had to work the next day, and I drove all the way from, and I'm talking like fucking heavy, heavy snow, all the way from Pennsylvania up to New Jersey and, you know, to where we live. It was snowing so hard that, like, the signs were covered. It was a blizzard. Shit. It was a fucking flat out blizzard. We're skidding all over. I'm just like, but she's like, Brian, I gotta go. I can't miss it. I can't miss work. And I'm just like, you're a fucking vet tech, man. You're not the president of the United fucking States.
Right. Who they wouldn't let drive in that weather anyway.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo,
good.
Isn't it weird? Because like a lot of relationships that I've had over the years have been problematic.
They all are.
They all are. I mean, they're not all like, I think there's something about us maybe, because I do look at some of the shit that I put up with in my life and I'm like, why the fuck would I put up with it? And it makes me into a person that I'm not as sure good for, because look, at our age, people are generally married. Fucking at our age, people are like on their second marriages at this point.
Right, yeah.
But it's made me into a person like, I think I'm difficult to be in a relationship with at this point because I am so gun shy of putting up with bullshit or really giving into other people too much or that radar is always up for like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And it just comes from a lifetime of just dealing with shit. Like, how many times have I called you and been like, can we assess this? Because I don't feel this is right.
Right.
And you would be like, it's not right. And then I would deal with it for another 6 months. Like,
yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. I do envy people that, men and women, I envy them both. Like, you know, like I was watching something the other day on TV and it was some girl who, like, the guy had lied about something, and it wasn't something as minor as like, I brought out the garbage, but really I didn't. It was like some lie that, God, what was it? It was like he was going one place and then went another place because he didn't want to catch shit from her or whatever.
Right.
But she was like, done. I'm not, fuck you. I'm not, like, if I can't trust you to tell me the truth about this kind of stuff, that's not a relationship. And it's like, it's so, I'm looking at her and I'm like, it's so fucking simple.
Right.
But my entire life, I've given slack.
So much
slack that, like, I mean, I would have to fucking jump fucking like 2 miles in order to hang myself with all the slack that I've given. It's fucking crazy. And then the more slack you give, the more it's normalized.
Right.
And the more you're just like, well, this is just the life way is. Like, I give slack and this person takes slack. And I mean, you know, let's not pretend that girls haven't given slack for us too.
Oh, of course, right.
But certain things I definitely, I mean, you know every single fucking in and out of every relationship I've had since we started hanging out. And some of it is insanity, the slack that I've given.
Right.
Some of those girls should be fucking dead.
Well, right. Not by your hand.
No,
just in a just world.
Yeah.
People would pay for their sins karmically with death.
Yeah. and it's so easy to look at other people and say, like, are you fucking nuts? Why the fuck would you put up with that, man? My sister said the other day, I wanted to fucking just be like, whoa. Because her husband passed away years ago, and then she was in a relationship with some guy who was a fucking drunk douchebag asshole.
He's a real piece of shit.
There's a guy I had to fucking slap around a couple times. Right. And it was Mother's Day. We were at Pam's house, and we were having a barbecue and stuff. And it was somebody. I wasn't involved in the conversation. I was off in the corner judging us, my way.
It's the
and
place
she
to be.
said something about like,
if you're not in the corner judging people, you're in the field getting judged by people in the corner.
It's much better to fucking migrate over to the corner and do your thing. But she said something about like, if a guy ever did that to me, he goes, he'd get a smack in the mouth and I'd be on my way. And I'm like, bullshit. This is.
Did you call her on it?
No.
I already internalized it?
Yes.
All right.
Because it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of fucking calling her on it? Because her reality is not
reality.
Yeah.
She lives in the Matrix.
Oh, yeah. And I would have to sit there and provide examples. And again, it's just like, what would the point be that I'm pointing out what every single person there already knows anyway?
You're all giving each other raised eyebrows and sideways glances.
Exactly. Every single person's like, oh yeah, I'm sure that's what you do, which is why you didn't do it for the past fucking, 5 years before, you literally had to kick the guy out of the house because of the cops. But goddamn, man, like, is it too? I'm 46. Like, is it too late? Is it too late for me to adopt and employ some hard, fast rules about relationships? Like, let's say right now, I'm dating a girl and she says, I'm going to me and my friend, we're gonna get some dinner and then we're gonna go to Starbucks.
Right.
And they go to dinner and then I find out they're out clubbing. I'm on Facebook and I see her friend.
She's that stupid.
Her friend's uploading fucking Facebook photos. Well, she lied. She went to the club rather than
up in the club.
She was up in the club. She told me she was up into Starbucks.
Up in the Starbucks is a good title for this.
Sorry, I don't want to. Your cat looks like he wants to scratch some stuff. I don't want to get in his
She's
way.
good. She never has ever been a scratcher. She's got her toys. That's
her
yours.
thing, right?
That's her
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that and my new couch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
My cat used to tear
It's weird because I had an old couch and they never fucking scratched it, and I just dropped all this money on this new couch, and like they they love it. They just love to scratch it. Fucking assholes. All right, so
how many you got now? Three.
Yeah. So all right, she's up in the club.
She's up in the club. Yeah.
I mean, look, you have to break up with her. You gotta. I mean, you know what? There are my ex-girlfriend. Tattoos, who was a very trustworthy person. Like, she was not a lie. Like, we broke up, but I have always maintained and would always maintain it was an amicable breakup. She's a great person. You know what I mean? We're probably better as friends than in a relationship.
I always saw that as a very situational type thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that like you guys didn't. It's not like you guys didn't love each other. It's not like you guys didn't want to be together. This situation was one that it's like geographically it wasn't going to work.
It wasn't, but you know what? Even though it's like really my relationship with her towards the end was like we were friends more than anything, which is fine, which is great. But when we were going out, like, she once said to me that she was somewhere else, and she sent me a picture holding a kitten that somebody had brought into a bar, and I had been in that bar before, and I was like, wait a minute, I was like, isn't that door somewhere else? And then she started getting all crying. She was like, oh, I didn't tell you because this, and the other thing, and I don't think she lied. Like, I mean, I don't think she lied about her reason for lying, but I let it go.
Right.
And that was only, 2 years ago? So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because nobody's a liar. You know what I mean? Everybody's a liar. But I mean, like, in the moment that they lie to you, it's just like, it's surrounded by all the good. It's surrounded by, there's a reason you're in a relationship with this person. There's a reason you're around this person. There's a reason. And those don't all go away just because they told one lie.
Right.
But, there's somebody with all those reasons who's not going to lie.
There's a person who would say, like, we went to dinner, we were going to go to Starbucks, and then she said, like, hey, let's go to this club that I just heard about.
Right.
And that person would text you and say, like, hey,
going to the club.
Change the club. Right. Change the plan. We're up in the club now. Right. And you wouldn't feel like, well, if she lied about that, because that's me. It's just like I'm like, okay, well, if she lied about that, what the fuck? Not that, like, not minor shit, but like if she lies about something, even like medium, I'm like, well, what else is she lying about?
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Yeah,
fucking everything.
And it's so fucking cliche, but it's just like that's what a relationship is built upon, is trust, and that doesn't mean just your fucking girlfriend. It's like, you know, like like our friendship, or, you know, my friendship with Kevin or Moj or Walt or Sal, or like any number of people we're friends with. It's like you trust them, not necessarily to not go up into club without your permission,
right?
But but for any other number of things, like, you know, you can invite them into your home and they're not going to walk out with, you know,
like a cat,
your watch or your cat, yeah. And it just makes you feel bad. It makes you feel dumb. It makes you feel like taken advantage of, you know? Yeah. It's the worst, especially when you feel like you've been giving and you try to help, and then you just...
Well, that's the thing about you that I've noticed over the years, is that you are the biggest giver. Like, nobody comes into a relationship with you that doesn't leave, at least fucking financially or possession-wise, in a much better place than they came in. Like, you just fucking give the farm away.
Yeah.
Like, God, you were paying that car payments for years after you broke up with that one girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't mean anything to me, but I was like, why are you doing that? And you always have this excuse.
Right.
But it's just like,
which is key. I don't have reasons.
Right. Excuses. Like,
yeah.
And Mosher said something to me once, where he was talking about, I think it was that situation where it was just like, he was like, we were talking about it, and he was like, well, I've had to live without a car. Like, why doesn't she have to live without a car? Like, why is it your job to make sure that she doesn't live without a car when everybody else has to live without a car? Like, why is Brian Johnson running in to save that day?
Right. Especially when like, I've had to live without a car. And this was a decision that she made. She decided, you know, I'll tell it really quickly so people kind of get the idea. Was dating a girl for quite a while. She was trying to get into veterinarian school. She tried like 3 years in a row after she graduated. It wasn't happening. So the third year, she was like, all right, if I don't get in this year, we'll buy a house. I'm not going to just keep on trying to, you know, do this. So we bought a house, and then it was literally 11 days later, she gets a letter in the mail that says she was accepted because, some other person had said like, well, I'm not going to go. And then so she was next on the list. Mm-hmm. So now she gets to go to, veterinary school, which to me, I was like, of course I'm fucking torn. On one hand, I'm like, well, we're building a life and we just got this house. Right. And, at the time we were counting on both our incomes. So I'm like, what the fuck's going to happen to me? It's like, I was unhappy. I was not happy. And, it was actually Moj. I talked to Moj and I was like, what should I do? Like, what do I do in this situation? And he said, well, why don't you see if, like, maybe she can put it off by a year? Like, can you delay it a year while you get all your ducks in order? And you don't have to, you know, because this was in late April that she found out. So she would have been leaving in, late July, early August. Mm. So I had like fucking 2 or 3 months at the most, you know? But we were, you know, we continued to date, you know, we waited the year. She went down to school. We continued to date for another year, and it was just like not working out for whatever reason. And, but while we were together, she had bought a truck, you know, and that's when, you know, when we broke up and stuff, yeah, it probably should have been just like, well, we're broken up, you know, it's not my truck. I got my own car payments to make, but she, you know, I mean, you knew her, and I always thought that's just kind of why I always felt I did it, was because she's very cool. She's very nice. She was a good friend. And, I didn't want to think of her, well, now I got to take a fucking bus or whatever. And
meanwhile, listen to the sentence that just came out of your mouth. You don't want her to take a bus.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy. Right. And I'm not, I'm in the same boat.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I'm not fucking mocking that at all. Like, when I say that to you, I'm really saying that to myself for all the fucking shit that I've.
Yeah, I mean, the last girl you were talking about, I remember you being like, well, I gave her a couple bucks, and I was like, what's a couple bucks? Like, $1,000.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I see that backup emergency board or whatever, like, I mean, I haven't looked at it in a really long time. But those girls who are constantly talking about, like, what a fucking animal I am and what a terrible person I am and all this other shit, it's like, don't get me wrong, of course, I have some very, very, like, terrible fucking character flaws.
Sure.
But not the ones they're saying. Like, not the one that these fucking women are talking about. And, I read one of their comments, or somebody actually sent me the comment about the making clay thing, and they're like, way to be even bigger assholes, dude. You guys can't break off $10,000 for them, for the Wayne Foundation. These girls were so nasty to Jamie Walton, so mean, so like trolling her and calling her names and calling her husband names. Like, I mean, they were really, really nasty.
Okay.
So it's not like they genuinely give a fuck about the Wayne Foundation,
right?
Two, I'm just like, forget the fact that we didn't raise the money for the Wayne Foundation, but it's just like, break off $10,000 because $10,000 is what, fucking chump change? How fucking rich are you, bitch?
I just said I'd fly to fucking Vegas and endure like a club fucking situation for $10,000.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't fucking make sense of it in my head. These girls who are like just sitting around with Kevin too. It's me and Kevin for whatever reason. They're constantly got their fucking big mouths flapping.
Really, it's that Kevin, huh?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah. Kevin.
This is the View Askew web board closed down, and I guess certain members of that board went to another board and started a backup board.
Right, and I guess they felt that they were not given the respect. The best part about it to me was, and I'm sorry if you've heard this already, but we were doing Tell 'em Steve Dave one day, I believe it was, and somebody said that they were saying shit on the board about, Kevin's View Askew board about us. And I went and I looked, and it was like, they were making fun of my appearance, which is like, I mean, come on. You know me. Do I ever get fucking tight about somebody saying I look like fucking Bigfoot or whatever the fuck? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But they were shitting on the TV show.
Right.
And I'm like, this doesn't make fucking sense to me. That Kevin is paying for upkeep of a board so that these fucking quote-unquote feminists can fucking come down on me, come down on the show, they say we're saying shit about Walt. So I asked Ming, how do I block somebody on this board? Like, how do I make sure that, they can't post? So he showed me, and I blocked one of them. And I guess it was like someone who had been there for fucking, since day one.
Right.
And they fucking lost their shit. They went fucking crazy. Who the fuck do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. Like that entitled, like, we're the View Askew boardies. And this is our board, not yours. And I'm just like, fuck you, bitches. Like, I don't care what you fucking think. And actually, we were laughing because it's funny that they would get so fucking worked up about it. They complained to Kevin. They complained to Jen. And then the board went down altogether. And they came after me, calling me names on Twitter and fuck you, Bigfoot, and all that kind of stuff.
What was the one that they kept going? Cthulhu, right? Cthulhu,
yeah, I guess so. Cthulhu, yeah. And very fucking succinctly and simply, Jen, Kevin's wife, went on the board and she goes, Brian has nothing to do with it. I'm the one who shut the board down.
Oh, really? All right, yeah.
Boom. Not another fucking word.
Okay.
Not another word. And sometimes I see, sometimes I saw comments about Jen that weren't favorable on that board too, because I think some of them thought that they were good buddies with her and they really weren't. And when they found that out, they were, unhappy. But so now they have their backup board, their emergency backup board where, my God, I've never seen such anger and vitriol and so fucking like, it's like you're aiming it at one, people who don't even know you're saying it. So what's the point? Two, people who are not nearly as awful as you're painting them to be. Three, you're just lying about certain things. Right. And four, it's like with your broad issues, it's kind of like there are any number of things you could be doing to help women's causes rather than fucking say like, oh, Brian Johnson's an asshole because he made a joke on Twitter about lust murdering Susanna burying her in the desert, which I didn't even fucking say. Like Suzanne wrote on Twitter one time that I said I was going to get into a situation where I was going to lust murder her and then bury her in the desert between fucking Vegas and LA. Right. And I saw one of them commented on it about what a scumbag I was and blah, blah, blah. I never even said it. Right. Suzanne fucking made it up as a joke.
You know what, though, I like about those people is I like that that's how they're spending their time. And that is their only platform. Like, I like that. Like,
I mean, it's
good,
crazy.
Like, good for you guys. Because what sort of damage could morons like that do if they actually were operating in the real world? Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, good. Like, oh, you have your little playground. You have your tiny, tiny little fucking digital
your community
playground.
Of like probably, like 15 people.
Like, just gross, ugly people, like just hiding away in like the backwaters of the fucking internet. Like, I'm glad you have that place. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's funny, and I mean, there's one girl who, I mean, the amount of posts and time that she spends on it, it almost makes me wonder if she's like a shut-in and doesn't actually like. There was like when the thing that the months and months ago there was a big hubbub because some girl said some blogger said something about Jay and Silent Bob getting taken off Netflix, and Kevin I read the post. Mm-hmm. It was it couldn't have been more innocent. Like, well, that's not very nice. Or what did I do?
Like, he just asked her why, right?
He basically asked her why.
Yeah.
And then I guess some of his followers went on and called her names and all this other kind of shit. So then Kevin responded with the fucking the essay about women and all that other stuff. And if you could have seen them like going back and forth, scrambling, trying to find any situation in which Kevin like had called a girl a bitch or something at one point, it was nuts. It was nuts. Like, wait, I seem to remember this. I seem to remember that. Didn't he call somebody a bitch then? And it was just like, guess what? Every guy on earth at one point or another has called a girl a bitch.
Sure.
It's just the fucking way it is.
Yeah, but
maybe Dalai Lama.
It's like people are also allowed to, in fact, you hope and encourage that people are allowed to grow and change and move on. You know what I mean? So
dude, the shit they were looking for, this was 2013, was literally 7 years earlier. Right. They thought maybe he had said something. 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I'm not encouraging anybody to call a woman a bitch or whatever, but it's like, let's not fucking kid ourselves. It's said all the time.
Sure.
Women call other women bitches, you know? It's fucking crazy.
I remember that there was, the only thing that I remember from that was said about me, I know there was stuff, but I just couldn't get into it. I was a little busy at the time, and they were just like talking about how at one of the View Askew events, we were there with Amy, who used to work there. and they wrote something about me buying her drinks. They were like, he kept buying her drinks.
Right, yeah.
Which I went home 3 hours before you guys that night, if you remember correctly. And that was the same night that 5 guys that were in the bowling alley took a VSU fan, a girl, remember this? Out to a fucking minivan behind there. And I was the only one that walked out of that fucking place for a girl that I didn't know, never seen before, don't know who she is today.
Right.
And face down 5 guys to pull her out of a fucking minivan to get back in.
I remember that because after, I guess it would have been after you left, Amy and I brought her to her hotel.
Okay.
And dropped her off. We literally walked her to her room to make sure that nothing was
Amy, who wasn't drunk.
Amy was not drunk. No.
Right. Okay. So,
Amy drove us there.
Okay. So the night that they said that I was pushing drinks on a great friend of mine, by the way, Amy is like one of my friends. That I was pushing drinks on her. To do whatever nefarious reason is the same night that I prevented, at the very least, a fucking date rape of some sort going on. Because look, those guys were aggressive too, man.
Oh yeah,
I had to stand my ground with those fucking guys.
Yeah, that was a very fucking ugly and weird and unique scenario at any VSU event up to that point.
Right. Well, they weren't VSU fans; they were just guys in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
And I stood my ground, and I have never told that story before. Now I didn't even tell that story in defense when they were saying that stuff, but it just goes to show you how these fucking assholes who think they fucking know anything with their lazy eyes, and some of them have lazy eyes, fucking think that they know the situation when they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. You and Amy were texting me that night to fucking tell me how the rest of the night went.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, son, no, like it happened actually the exact opposite. But again, it's just like, I only mention it now because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's why, and I'm assuming they're going to listen to this because they fucking appear to like just monitor everything. It's like, go fuck yourselves. Like, just, like you stupid assholes. You are one of the best people I know in my life. You're one of the most important people in my life, and you've saved my life on many occasions, literally from killing myself at one point. So it's just like, I don't know what these people, I'm not saying they haven't done anything. Look, there's two sides. It's easy to be an ugly person on the internet. It's easy to be an ugly person when you're in a herd mentality. It's easy to be an ugly person when you're physically ugly. It's easy, you know what I mean? It's easy to do those things, but it's like, I'm sure that they get off and then they go somewhere else and then they're nice people. I'm sure they have nieces and nephews and kids and shit that they love and they're good to and stuff like that. But it's just so funny that's how they choose to spend their time.
Yeah. And there's no, like, I mean, I not once on their board did I ever try to like defend myself and prove
never
like
how even bothered you. It's so funny every time we talk about it. It's just like it's like a larf.
How fucking gallant I've been in the past, but like one of them mentioned, anytime he talks about how he's good to women, he always trots out Sage and how he brought her to the park or something. It's just like. Really?
Like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. It's like, I guess.
But even if you boil that down to its essence, every time they tell you something bad about you, you respond with a completely accurate, 100% correct fucking rebuttal that is true.
I guess her point was that.
So let them negate the things that you do right so you have no argument?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
You know what? Mother Teresa, if you take away all the good shit that they've done, she was a real fucking cunt. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't exercise the fucking good.
Because there's an obsession. There is absolutely, I'm not using the word in a literal sense. Like, I feel like there's I don't know, I haven't looked at it in a long time, but there for a while it was an obsession with, Tell 'em Steve Dave, especially, how misogynistic we are, how sexist we are, how blah blah we are, how blah 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 we are. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should all write for the Huffington Post. Huffington Post drives me fucking crazy.
What happened? Where did that turn happen? Because you used to legitimately enjoy that paper.
I don't know. It became more and more. It became, like Walt would say, like San Francisco paper,
right?
But I there was a stretch where it was enjoyable and their entertainment news wasn't so in the forefront.
Right.
And I guess it's just they gave way to these bloggers, these like college age bloggers who I guess will write for free, which is good if you're, somebody trying to make your entry on a Huffington, you just want to make money on your paper, but they all come from, like, they're all cut from that same fucking cloth, that ultra liberal, God fucking forbid you should make a joke at anyone's expense. Right. God fucking forbid anyone should be excluded from something. Half the time you don't know if they want labels or don't want labels, because half the time it's like, don't label me. The other half the time it's like, all right, Facebook has fucking 75 different fucking names to call yourself, sexuality-wise. Like the other day I saw some guy, the Post, the New York Post was a picture of Monica Lewinsky, and it was My Life Sucks. I guess she's coming out with a new book or something. Okay. Yeah. And the guy,
you think Bill Clinton's like, oh, fucking come on.
He's gotta be. He's gotta be. And it was a guy who wrote it, the brief article, and it was like real nice Huffington Post, way to keep it classy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, New York Post. Guy from the Huffington Post wrote that. It's like, one, the New York Post is not a serious newspaper for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two, they're known for their fucking punny and double entendre fucking headlines. Three, it's like, when the fuck did we start treating Monica Lewinsky as a national treasure who is fucking beyond, like, light fucking mockery? Right. Like, give me a fucking break. They're mad about everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything. There's a couple sites out there. Salon is that way.
Yeah.
Upworthy. I think that's what it's called. Upworthy. I think that's the name of it. It's fucking nuts. You read these articles and you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Is there anything ever, like you did this reverse on Huffington Post because of what happened. Is there ever anything that has gone the opposite direction for you that you've been like, I fucking hate this piece of shit. And then later on you're like, you know what? I've reassessed my opinion, or they've changed, or I've changed. Cause that would be an interesting, to me, switch to be like, I hate this, to like, I kind of like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's been that way.
Like even a book that you read as a kid that you're like, this fucking sucks, and then you get older and you're like, I didn't get this.
Oh, I liked Animal Farm when I read it back in 8th grade or whatever, but liked it on a different level, than when you read it later on. I know there have to have been TV shows that I feel that way about, that, I despised it and then
got on board.
Yeah, I'd have to give that some thought though, because I'm not really too sure. Yeah, it seems like I liked stuff, and then as time went on, I disliked it.
Calcify a little bit into fucking.
Yeah, they were complaining about. Actually, I think it was CNN was complaining about Charles Barkley made a joke about fat women in San Antonio. Basically, he was like, if you like big women, go to San Antonio. Like, they grow them big there.
Okay.
And so, of course, fucking...
So he didn't even say it as a negative. He just said that's where they are if you like
it. It didn't sound like a negative to me. And for anyone who knows about Charles Barkley, when he played for Auburn, they used to call him the round mound of rebound. Like,
did they really?
Yeah, the guy was real. Like, he was fat. It wasn't like he was... and even after he got out of the NBA, he had a paunch and stuff, It's not like you would point at Charles Barkley and say, well, he's fucking always been in shape, so he has no fucking right to, make a fatty joke or whatever.
It didn't even sound like he made a fatty joke.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like he did. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you too?
Good.
Were you going to say something?
Well, I was going to bring up the gay football player. Did you hear about this?
Wait, the gay football player
Sam, I don't know his fucking name. He got drafted and he kissed
the boyfriend, right? Yeah,
and then
that actually is what I was going to say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Go ahead, though, because there was something else that I was like, yeah, okay, dude, fucking whatever.
Well, it's just like then a bunch of NFL guys went online and started tweeting about how like they shouldn't have done that, and how, hey man, this kid's watching. How could you be kissing your boyfriend and stuff like that? And some players got suspended. Some players are being sent to sensitivity training. And I'm just like, and to me, the shocking thing isn't that people feel that way, because whatever. But the shocking thing is that people are still stupid enough to fucking open their goddamn mouth and fucking express an opinion like that in this day and age.
Yeah, you're 100% right. But the thing is, it's so easy to do it. It's so fucking easy to, whereas before, like, there would have to be somebody there with a mic in your face, or, you would have to be at a game and somebody's doing an interview or whatever. Yeah. But there was a guy, I was just like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. This was his, I think I saw it at TMZ, actually. Oops. And then his response is so fucking great.
The gay guy?
The basketball player who is known for like having a fucking big mouth and he's an asshole, said something about, where is it now? It's Donald Sterling stuff fucking.
He started crying, Donald Sterling, huh?
Did he really?
Yeah, like he...
Why were Mike and Ming not going to show up to the game?
No, apparently he started crying when he was talking about the woman that sold him out. Right. He was talking about how she was a good person and he thought she cared for him and he felt like an idiot and he started crying, but...
Yeah, I'm sure that dude's wife felt the same way.
Yeah, no. That guy should just go away.
But I understand that girl may be getting in trouble too for doing what she did. You know, like, well, one, taking all those, you can't just take fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and not pay taxes. Mm. God damn it, man. It was a fucking, a second here.
Oh, where did she take money from?
From the guy. Like, the guy gave her cash, I guess.
Yeah, but then why can't they just say, like, if I lend you $20, you have to pay taxes on it?
No, you're allowed to give people, IRS-wise, you're allowed to give people a cash gift of up to $10,000. And then after that, you have to pay taxes on it.
Well, how many times can I give you a $10,000 gift?
I'm sure it's like once a year or something like that, or maybe once every 6 months. I'm not really sure what the rules are. This is killing me because I really want to read the tweets to you about this guy. What was the guy's name?
I don't know. Sam, J, NFL. Let's see. Michael Sam.
Okay. There was. I wish I could. What's his name again? Michael Sam.
Michael Sam. Yeah.
This was the worst, but the best response to this. Okay, so Michael, did you describe what happened already about who Michael Sam is?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So there's a basketball player, and I guess he's known. His name's Marshall Henderson, and he's known for his big mouth, giving people shit, trash talk, and all that stuff.
Right.
He said that Monday, his derogatory tweet about linebacker Michael Sam was meant as a project to gather information for a friend who was deciding whether to tell friends and family about his sexual orientation. Okay?
All right.
My stance on gay athletes is irrelevant, Henderson told ESPN by phone. The whole reason we chose to do this is because my friend was gay. If it was wrong for me to do it, so be it. He tweeted the following Monday morning, 2 days after Sam was taken by the St. Louis Rams in the 7th and final draft of the NFL draft. Okay, this is what he says. Boycotting SportsCenter till this Michael Sam nasty expletive is off. My brothers are 7 and 11 and saw that. Hashtag sickening. Okay?
Okay. That's pretty harsh.
So an hour later, he tweets, one of my best friends, in capitals, who is gay, is about to graduate in psychology. Asked me to say these things so he can have responses. The point of his study was to see how people react when others say things or act in a certain way against another group of people. He told ESPN his friend, who does not attend Ole Miss, asked him to tweet that out, but he a few weeks ago, but he declined at the time. However, asking Sam, but why would you tweet it a couple weeks ago if it just happened, the kiss? That doesn't even make any sense. There was a big backlash. He said, he then tweeted, "Thank you," in all in caps, "Thank you, Michael Sam, for standing up for you and making this whole project possible, trying to bridge the gap one day at a time." So a bunch of people went after this guy, of course, this Marshall Henderson. But this to me was the best. Let me see if I can fucking find the tweet that he said. 'Cause this to me was just fucking amazing. So he says, "Sorry for messing with everyone like that. Everyone really helped my boy. And for that, we are extremely appreciative." Then he starts talking about how people are the respondees are the assholes.
Okay.
Because they're like, so angry and like, fuck you. People shouldn't be so fast to judge or react, right or wrong, in caps. And it's like, asshole, how are they judging? You put out something as a fact. Nobody there is like, well, I wonder if he's doing this, for the sake of fucking psychology studies.
That's right.
But I just gotta find the tweet.
I wonder if he really did or is just trying to find an excuse now.
Oh, fucking, I would bet my life that he fucking is now desperately looking for a gay guy to be like, please tell me. Could you just say that, where is it? Oh, it's fucking so great. Okay, there's the tweet. I'm sorry. Okay, it's not even like that was his only tweet. So he said, boycotting Sports Center, blah, blah, blah. That was the first one.
Right.
"I'm sorry, but I do not agree whatsoever that should be shown to where innocent eyes can see." Point 3, who is the worst person? Me for what I said, or any of the hundreds who just cursed me? Hashtag this is fun.
Oh, God.
Thank you, everyone, for your input and responses. My next tweet is really going to throw everyone a curveball. And then, of course, he tries to fucking get out of it. But I
love that a basketball player is trying to be an intellectual.
I mean, I think... Oh, here it is. This is my favorite tweet. In caps, "It's called psychology," then regular lowercase, "and everyone just got taken to school."
Oh, God. Oh,
this fucking idiot, Marshall Henderson, put something out there. There's no reason that anyone would ever believe. He should have just been like, "I got hacked." Right. It would have been easier to fucking believe. That's what everybody does now. I got hacked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, holy Christ almighty. When I saw that, like, you just got schooled, it's like, so wait a second. You're going to write something that fucking stupid and homophobic and ugly and angry and then turn it around like anyone who read the tweet and reacted, they're the assholes?
Right.
They're the dummies that you fucking took to school. How exactly did you take them to school?
Right.
You said something that, like, for all intents and purposes was a lie.
Right.
If you don't believe that, then that's a lie.
Right.
So how the fuck did you take anyone to school?
They're schooled, Brian. They're schooled.
They've been schooled. I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. Like, just play. Look, not saying that basketball player can't be an intellectual at all.
No, of course not.
Right? Not saying that at all. But, like, clearly this guy
he is not.
Should not be dabbling in that. Is he a good basketball player?
I believe so. Yeah, I think
do what you're good at. Play fucking basketball.
Yeah, don't worry about helping your boy with his psychology. And like, why did he need him to help him? Why couldn't the guy? Unless this guy maybe has more followers or whatever. Yeah, and it's also like, I'm sorry, have there not been enough studies with regarding homophobia that if you say like, oh, two gay guys kissing is fucking sickening, that and then people respond like, well, you're a fucking homophobic piece of shit. There aren't enough studies like that. You and your boy had to do your own study.
An informal poll.
You had to take everybody to school?
Yeah.
Fucking moron. Fucking zero.
There you go. All right, well, how you feel about wrapping this up, dude? I think we put in a solid, thoughtful fucking Space Monkeys.
I think so. Pretty good.
Sure.
There was only one thing. I feel you and I disagreed about this last week. Just one little thing. It wasn't exactly the death knell, but I watched back in Christ. It had to be the late 80s, early 90s at the very, very latest. Stern had a TV show on Channel 9.
That's right.
And he did this thing that was called the Howard Stern House Party.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, what happened was he invited a bunch of people to a house that was actually like maybe 5 or 6 miles from where I live. It was a condo, and the guy was getting foreclosed on or something like that.
Sure.
And as people do with foreclosures, they fucking destroy the house. You know, like they put cement into the toilets and they fucking rip out. Like I've seen houses like that. Like when I went to buy my house a couple of years back, I walked into a couple of houses that were like quote unquote fixer uppers, but it was like the family was foreclosed on, so they fucking tore the shit out of the house before they left. You've never seen, you're like, you may as well, they eventually did this with this one, just knock it down and start over. That's how badly. And it's weird in a way because logically it's like, well, it happens. Like, I'm sure if you pay your payments, they're not going to foreclose on you. And if you lost your job, it's understandable. It sucks. It's like nobody is like, oh, cool, I'm getting foreclosed on.
Sure.
You know? But to destroy I guess it's just like an act of frustration where you're like, there's nothing else I can fucking do.
It's an act of low intelligence. Sorry about that.
Yeah. All right, you big fatty. So I guess the idea was, who gives a fuck about the house?
Right.
So if we wreck it, we wreck it. But and you can see it on YouTube. It's called Howard Stern House Party, parts 1, 2, and 3. I couldn't even get to part 3. I think back and like I like to believe my sense of humor is somewhat sophisticated at times, refined a little bit at times. You know, I still like the fucking gay jokes and that kind of shit too, but I watched 2 out of it was a half hour. I watched 2 out of the 3 parts, and I could not find one thing that I was like, why would I have liked it? Like, what was it about that time? I mean, I was much younger. I was probably what it 20 is. Or 21.
Yeah.
But dude, one of the things I noticed was that lesbians, evidently in the late 80s, early 90s, at that point were still a novelty.
Right.
Because he talks about lesbians nonstop. They all, like, all the girls are giggling like crazy as if, like being a like, it's so naughty and so, like, taboo and all this other shit. There wasn't one thing that made me laugh in an entire half hour.
Well, that's why when we talk about Stern, I actually enjoy him now more than I did back then. I was a big Stern fan back then, and then I kind of lost it when he went to Sirius, just because I didn't have a car that even had Sirius in it. But now that I have the Wrangler and it's in there, I'm like, fuck, I like him now more than I did back then.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were certain years where, like, I mean, this kind of shit, I'm like, what I never liked about back then were, like, the strippers, when he would bring strippers in. I never really understood the, like, okay, well, you can win a prize. We're going to throw bologna at a girl's ass and see if it sticks on her ass. And I wasn't like, that's fucking wrong. But I was just like, I don't get it. Like, why is that funny? Especially, like, you can't see. So what is the point of any of this? And then there was that stretch with, like, the Artie years. Some of the Artie years I thought were really good. But then once Artie left and nobody was in that seat, and especially when he started the America's Got Talent, I just was like, it just sort of fell apart for me. But and I watched this because I've been listening. Like, YouTube has a ton of fucking old Stern shit on it. So I've been going back and, like, listening to little things here and there, like, you know, stuff I remember from the times I did like it. They're having the party, right? And this must have been when he just started at 92.3.
Okay.
Because they're talking, and all of a sudden this Asian lady comes out in, like, it looked like almost like a magician's assistant outfit, like a tight, like, satiny, like, what's that called? The thing up here, it ties.
The corset?
A corset, yeah, like a corset. And, she has a fax machine on a tray, and he literally does a live commercial right then and there for a Brother fax machine, and like talking about features that today you would be like, seriously, like who the fuck would ever use this? And then again later on, Enough's Enough. Remember that band? Enough's Enough?
Not really.
Yeah, another 90s band that like had a very brief window of success. They're there and he just won't stop asking them the same questions where he's like, so what do you do? Like, what do you do all day? And like everybody sucks on camera. I advise watching it just to see
I'll check it out.
How fucking unrefined it was. It was insane.
Right.
And, so they're not really answering. He's asking them how much pussy they get. They're not answering. He's asking lesbian stuff. These people fucking have like nobody answers because everyone's like shy or whatever. Right. Then all of a sudden he brings out the lady comes back out and Stern starts asking him if they want a Snapple. And he has the girl has a tray of like 8 different Snapples. He goes, they have all different flavors. And he starts doing a live shit that you're like, this is fucking embarrassing, man. Like this is, I guess he just didn't have the juice back. I thought he did. Like I thought by that point he kind of had some juice.
Probably had to sell out just to get the TV show to make it profitable for people.
I guess, man. And they picked a bottle of Snapple and moved on.
I hated Spider-Man 2, the one that just came out.
Yeah.
And the other day, somebody said, "Hey, man, you guys did a commercial for Spider-Man 2." And we didn't. True had cut together a commercial for Spider-Man 2 using pre-existing footage. They didn't even tell us they were doing it, which is another issue. And I saw it, and I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They got to make money to keep the show on the air. So It's just like, anybody who listens to this, anybody who listens to What Say You knows that fucking I couldn't stand Spider-Man 2. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. I saw a tweet last week where I was getting the show ready, the bicentennial extravaganza.
Right.
Now, what some people don't understand is like, it's not like we record it and then just throw it up. I have to send it to Declan. Now, the way we record it, these are huge files.
Sure.
So it's probably about a good 3 gigs of material that I send to him. He processes, I don't think he processes it in real time, but even if he does,
right,
that's 3+ hours right there.
Sure.
He then sends it back to me, which takes another fucking hour or so to upload it because they're just so fucking big.
Right.
I then listen to it in real time so I can take stuff out, and edit. And somebody's like, why don't you just play it unedited? It's like, because you don't want to fucking hear a minute and a half of us going to the bathroom or, some shit where like, there's parts where like we're all arguing over the rules, but you can't, there's nobody you can actually hear distinctly.
Right.
So you're like, well, I'll just take this out because it's pointless,
right.
Like you want to make it nice and tight so it's a good listening experience. And I can't remember who it was, but I thought it was actually somebody that had been on Twitter for a while. And they said something like, I said it, it looks like it's going to be close to 3 hours. And somebody's like, is that with or without the 30 minutes of commercials? And I'm like, oh my God, it fucking annoyed me. Cause I mean, like I said, like I have to, if it's 3 hours, I listen to it in real time, but once I stop to cut something out and back up and make sure it's right, it took me probably 5.5 to 6 hours to cut it.
That's not even counting the 3 hours you took to record it.
Yeah. And I was like, I was so close to fucking being like, to going after him. And then I was like, fuck it. It's nothing new. And maybe it's a joke. I don't know. But at that point, I was just, I was ready to fucking be like, fuck you guys, peace assholes.
With a lie and throw next door, he's got that bloodlusty on spill someone name. Got the curse of the wolf run through his veins. And with the full moon on the rise, I believe he's haunting me tonight. I get low, I got to go. I'm losing time as daylight dies. When the sun goes down, he's on the prowl. And one mistake might mean my life. His house does through the woods, haunting and alone. Because shreds, side a pile of limbs and several heads. In the pools of blood mingle where they lay, with a sickening smell of sweet decay. And it's bad, and it's mean, and it feeds. Tonight he's out there after me. My neighbor is a werewolf, and at night he howls at the moon. So I keep my silver bullets close, 'cause my neighbor is a werewolf. My hands were sweating, my body was shaking when he crept up from behind. I turned and spun with my shotgun, looking straight in the eye. He lunged from the left, he took a bite out of my chest, but I took him right at his face and I shot that fucker dead. But now I turned into a werewolf. Every night when the moon is full, you better keep your silver bullets close. When I turn into a werewolf.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.